Now we're live. Hello.
We're live.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry. Hi.
They're drinking stale water. How's it going? Awkward seeing you all here today.
I also don't know what this is going to be, so.
We're hanging out. We're nervous because a lot of things have been going on, if you haven't noticed. Hello, Damien.
What's up, Damien?
So, if you haven't been keeping up with stuff, we made a new friend, and I think that's what this live stream is about. I'm not entirely sure, but we're also just planning on hanging out and talking to you guys, so. Oh, there's a chat on here.
Oh, let me move that up. Yeah, I put that there. Unless you don't want it, I can put it down.
Well, I don't care. I just didn't know it was there.
But then I'll cover your face because you're short. I've just been bullying her, saying that she's short this entire time.
I mean, look, Riker's like maybe 5 inches taller. If I was sitting in, I mean, my chair is a lot lower.
But if I put my chair up all the way, makes it look like I'm giant.
Yeah.
I wish I was this tall. You can't really see that because of the lights, but it's fine. I don't. Who cares? I'm not.
That is our chat. That's new.
I put it there because I thought it might be nice. But
I've been 5'1" since I was 13. I'm 5'2" and 3/4 since I was 12. So,
listen, if I owned a ukulele.
It's almost Aries season? It is Aries season.
Yeah, it is.
Or
Aries
is it
season.
tomorrow?
I think maybe it starts tomorrow. I don't know.
I don't remember if it's the 20th or the 21st.
5'2". I'm 5'8", 5'9".
I'm short. Everyone is taller than me.
Yeah.
So, wow, there's 35 people here.
Yeah, again, we don't necessarily have like plans, and we're not necessarily, I don't know. I'm not necessarily trying to like rehash everything because everything already like got talked about. I feel like.
Yeah, we
clearly, but
we released a podcast today on Haunted Smoke and Mirrors. If you want to like tag that in there.
Yeah, I can.
But we released a podcast today that the title of it is "Debunkers Aren't Bullies," because we thought that would be clickbaity. But in the podcast, we basically talk about how our experience with Side-Eye Guy making a like debunker video about us changed our perspective about debunkers
For the better.
for good reason. Because a lot of people are like, "There's just so much back and forth drama," and I'm like, "What drama?"
Yeah, I was like, I don't feel like it's like. Is there a lot of back and forth? Yes, but I think it's
like, is
good
there drama?
conversation. And
Yes,
I don't think that it's.
But it's not between
drama.
us and him. So, what we talked about in that podcast, because you guys should go watch that. Yeah, I don't know why the like HSM doesn't work. I don't think it worked the last time I tried it either.
I don't know.
We're trying to make Trigger the Nightbot.
It's always something.
But basically what went on during that is Side-Eye Guy made a video about us.
Well, I'll just link it.
Riker made a live stream response about it, which I'm pretty sure I put all of the videos in the like description if you wanted to like check those out. And then he reached out to us and was like, "Oh my god, you like actually responded like a human being and not like reactive and angry, and that's new for me." So he told us that he wanted to change some things with his content to create a to kind of like dish out the more toxic people, because I wouldn't say that his community is toxic. There are few people that like pick up the like angry energy and then they like start flipping tables over.
Yeah,
those are the people that they are trying to like dish out. And it was crazy because he ended up calling Riker at like 7:30 in the morning or something. Over here, because he's like in Australia or whatever. And it was like literally the most authentic, genuine, sincere apology that we have ever experienced from like another human being. And he was basically apologizing for how the community was reacting to the video that he had posted.
Because most of it was, like, to me, there were kind of like two buckets of responses. Like, understanding, respectful, like, very positive and overwhelming support, or transphobia. Those were the only two, like, I would say, like, those are the two buckets of responses, which I also, if I'm being honest, I expected that. Like, people...
Yeah, but for the first one, it was mostly, like, comments about, like, our appearances and stuff like that. They were trying to, like, be mean.
Yeah.
But what was weird is he did... Well, he told you that he was going to make another video. He asked us specifically, can we use the live stream to, like, educate his community about how being toxic and mean gets you nowhere. And he did that, and that's where all of the, like, transphobic comments started coming out, and that one was really weird.
Yeah,
because, like,
I kind of expected.
You mentioned it for, like, maybe a few seconds, minutes in his video, and everyone focused on that.
Yeah,
that's where the hate came from in that video. But
even most of the reason why I was explaining it was because I was explaining why I was on testosterone, because people were making comments about, like, vocal fry of my voice. So I was just explaining that my voice sounds the way it does because of testosterone. But I don't know, everyone just, like, took that
exploded.
And, yeah,
most
and I was
controversial
like, wow.
thing, apparently.
Yeah.
But most of the comments were, like, very positive, and in his, like, second video, it was a lot different. Like, his comment section was very different in the sense of, even though there were people coming in and sharing, like, their hateful thoughts about it, his community started clapping back to those people and being like, hey, that's mean, you should stop doing that. So I feel like what he's doing is working and is making the community more healthy, if that makes sense. More
and I don't know,
accepting.
I know there's a lot of people who, have opinions about me talking about my identity in a video where I'm talking about myself. But, and I know that there's people who don't think it necessarily has everything, like, doesn't have anything to do with the paranormal, so it shouldn't be, like, discussed. But I personally think it's the opposite. I think that these are discussions that need to be had within the paranormal, so more people are more open to, I don't know, other types of people and other types of voices. Like, I don't know, there were some comments that were talking about how oh gosh, there were so many. It's hard to, like, pick out the exact one I'm thinking of. But, sorry, you can talk. I'm, like, completely out of it. I don't know where I am. I'm very tired today.
I don't know. I don't know where you were going with that, but
I know there's people who are saying that, oh, there doesn't need to be representation. Like, representation doesn't matter. And to me, if someone says that representation doesn't matter, that makes me feel like there's even more of a reason to talk about it. Because it's not necessarily that me, like, being non-binary is, like, if you, like, those who have watched our content, it's not like that is, like, the only thing that we talk about in our content. It's not, like, the main focus of the content. Like, sometimes we talk about it, but it's never, like, the most important thing. But to me, it's important that it is talked about, so other people who might be trans, non-binary, or, even, like, POC on this, like, be neurodivergent, feel like there are other people like them in the community. Because those people have existed forever, and they are going to exist in these spaces. So whether or not you think that it has, like, it should be talked about on the paranormal, I'm going to talk about it. And it's not going to be like, I'm not going to shove it down people's throats like people are, like, making it seem.
You're basically saying it because a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah, and
which is fine.
I wasn't expecting initially when we did that live for like Side Eye Guy to like use it to make a response video and for people like to like that many more people to see it. It was more so of like, hey, there might be an influx of people who are coming to like our channel, or what I'm calling it like our house. So if you're coming to our house, we just want to lay out some ground rules and information. So at least if you're gonna like hate on me or like say anything, you can like use the right pronouns when doing so. That's what it is. Like, I don't care if you hate this, like hate that type of talk, I don't feel like you would come to our channel to begin with. So it's not really for those people.
Yeah, I mean, we attract an audience that's like us.
Yeah, most of our audience is already like neurodivergent, queer, very diverse. So it was more so just there might be new eyes on us. So
who don't know us.
Yeah, so it's just I'm explaining things.
Yeah. And also mentioned it to clarify things.
Yeah.
Because people are making comments, but they don't know anything about you. So you were basically like, hey, you're making comments about things, but you should know that, like, this is who I am and this is what's going on. So this is what you're actually making comments about, and it can be perceived as hurtful. So
and I made it very clear in that live, too, that me talking about being, like, autistic or any of those things doesn't mean that you can't criticize me or our content, because we agreed with a lot of the criticisms that he made against us in his video. Like, we owned up that the video is shit, like 100%.
A lot of people think that because you like mentioned being autistic and being biracial and being non-binary that you were like trying to play those cards as like the victim card, but like that's not what was going on. You were just explaining like what people were making comments about, because like the things that he addressed in the video, you were like, yeah, even though I'm autistic, we were not having a good day. We were extra monotone that day. But, like, I'm also monotone on a regular day.
Yeah.
So, like,
that's just who we are as people. And it doesn't mean that you can't have opinions about it or say that you think the video is boring. Those criticisms were not the problem. No. Ever. That was not the issue. Like, the issue was the other, like, types of comments that were more, like, personal attacks. Not, like, criticisms of the content. Even like the comments about my voice like sounding like vocal fry didn't bother me. It was more so of like I've never had people say that it sounds like I have vocal fry, so I just want to like tell you why it sounds like that. I get voice cracks like a teenage boy right now. Like,
I like it.
My girlfriend likes it, so that's all that matters. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and I know that there's obviously we also weren't trying to make it seem like you have to like, I don't know, mediums. Like, we weren't, the point of the video wasn't even trying to prove that we are mediums or what we were saying was correct or anything like that. It was solely just to be like, hey, you can, like, I understand that you have these opinions about mediums. That is not the issue. The personal attacks are, and there's only a certain level of, like, hate that I will accept being thrown at me.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, like, watching a lot of his content lately, because we were in his live stream, and, like, we watch more of his videos instead of in his live streams usually. So, like, watching his live streams and watching people, like, comment and stuff like that, it's interesting, their viewpoints about mediums. Because, like, one of the things that I found interesting is you're either faking it or you believe your delusions. That was the first thing. And then the second thing is they always talk about mediums taking criticism so well that they're, like, fake or whatever. But I'm like, that is, like, the one thing that people comment about in the mediumship niche. Other mediums will make videos about how to spot a fake medium or whatever like that. And I'm like, it kind of just, like, comes with the territory. You either, like, believe that it's happening, or you don't believe that it's happening, or you believe certain people fake it. And it's just, it's messy. So we, like, get that, because we'll go into, like, do readings with like people that we found. I don't know, we went to California and we had a reading with a tarot reader and we were not impressed as much. So like it just depends on if you vibe with this person, how this person like is going to work with you. But we've all heard the like fake medium speech, so we're not like hurt by that. Yeah, we get it.
I mean, I didn't, until I started viewing mediumship from a different perspective versus what like think people stereotypically think of when mediums. That is when my perception of mediums changed, because I was someone who was like, everyone around me, like, I mean, I've talked about it a lot in like some of our other content, but I grew up having like experiences. My mom likes to tell, you know, she'll share in the chat that I was like a kid in my high chair and like would talk to my late Uncle David, who I had never met. So like I had always like had some of like those experiences and things, but it was always just chopped up to like, oh, like you're just intuitive, like you just like the women in our family have more like gifts and like they're more gifted with those things, but we know it was never like called mediumship. So most of what I viewed as mediumship was only clairvoyance and like physically seeing spirit, and that is not what I was like experiencing. And there was so much talk of like, oh, all of the like TV mediums are all like fake and everything, so that was my viewpoint of it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was around mediums a lot. So I don't know why I had a lot of friends that were mediums, but they were like very traditional in the sense of like they saw ghosts, like the Sixth Sense, seeing ghosts walking around. So I was like, yeah, that's what mediumship is, but it's not. And that's why people get confused, because we hear the like, you can't see spirits through a video, or like, why can't you see a spirit that other medium is seeing? It's because 90% of the time as a medium you're not seeing it like you're seeing Riker physically, like there. You use your 5 physical senses to experience mediumship because you're a human being, but that it's kind of like more of a like telepathy type thing. It happens in your head. So that's where people like get kind of lost, and they're like, oh, well, if you're a medium, you see spirits, and if you're a medium, everyone should see the same spirits. But like 90% of the time, you don't necessarily need to see them. You can hear them. You can feel their emotions. You can just know things about them. And that's where it kind of gets to be the gray area, which also goes into the, well, is this real? Is this not real? And it's also like interpretation of the medium who's talking to the person. Because, like, even if I'm, like, interpreting for Riker, who might be, like, invisible or whatever, to another human being, it's going to go through my, like, interpretation of what they say. So I could interpret it wrong. I could connect wrong. So we get that all the time.
Imagine the entire time I've actually just been spirit and everyone is, like...
Can you see them?
You can see me? Just kidding.
Wait, you can talk to me?
I don't know. There's also still a lot that I don't know about mediumship, and I'm still trying to like figure out, understand.
Same.
Which is also most of like what we do is trying to just document our experiences, not necessarily like we get things wrong. We know when we get it wrong. Like, I don't know.
For the most part, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what these, like, if you want to call them gifts are, and just, I don't know, experience the paranormal, like, I don't know, untethered. Because I grew up Mormon. Like, my family was very like superstitious. Like, I started playing around with Ouija boards like after I moved out of like Utah and everything, but it was still very much kind of like so this is now like I'm an adult and I'm gonna like, I don't know, have fun with it and see what happens. And you know,
I don't know. I didn't think that I was a medium when I was a kid. I surrounded myself with other people that claimed the medium title, but like because I wasn't seeing them like everyone else claimed they were seeing them, I didn't think I was a medium.
Yeah.
So once I was like, okay, once like I was doing tarot readings and then I started telling them like things that weren't in the tarot cards and they're like, how do you know that? Like, what? And that's when I started being like, well, I can feel like there's someone standing next to you and they're telling me the information. And I had someone be like, that's mediumship. And I was like, oh, cool. Got it.
Yeah.
But that's why we think everyone has the mediumship gift, because otherwise I feel like that would be like so weird if you were just cut off from spirit, like you were just cut off and not able to like communicate with the like everything energy, because like what we believe is that like separation is an illusion, so we as souls make up the universe. So then why would you lose the ability to be connected with the rest of the like collective of souls? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. And I know like sometimes we do readings and stuff, and I know people have opinions about that, but I don't know, we try not to do any that like are specifically talking to people's like past relatives. I don't like doing that because
they make me uncomfortable.
Like, and we've had people who come in like right after being like, my, brother passed away last night. Will you talk to him for me? Yeah. And we refuse that.
I mean, I still will talk to certain people's like past relatives
if it's relevant, but I prefer doing like doing like deity type readings or other things versus like just someone's loved ones. Personally. But we also try to make it a point to everyone that like you also don't need us to like communicate with anyone.
You don't need us to communicate, but you also like, we aren't claiming that this is a replacement for therapy either, because I still like, I don't think there's anything wrong with people that do mediumship readings where they talk to your past loved ones. I'm just uncomfortable doing that because I feel like I am like intruding, and I feel like I'm triggering grief. So it makes me uncomfortable, but I will do it like off, like I'll do it sometimes for people I know in my life. I'll do it sometimes for people in live streams, but I don't particularly like charging for those things. But if it comes into play, I will like mention it. But that's why it like makes me uncomfortable, is because it's very triggering. But we focus a lot more on like
spirit guides, deities, like past lives, those types of things, versus just like that's just talking to someone's love, which is also like, I know people are gonna have opinions about that too.
What? So you're going into things that don't exist even more, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I personally think that they exist.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I do too.
And there's things that we've learned about ourselves by doing those readings for ourselves, for other people. For Angel Kitty. Yeah, I don't love having, like, sometimes I'll have M talk to my past loved ones for me. Yeah. But if I go to like get a reading from somebody else, I don't ask about that, just because I don't know. I personally don't feel the need to.
You need to be in the right headspace if you are doing that. Yeah, it's not a replacement for therapy.
Yeah, and like
I don't see an issue with mediumship readings. I know people that do them. I just don't want to offer it as like a full service. If someone comes in and says things, then I will like tell you. But
yeah, and also there's times where like, listen, this is like completely TMI, but you guys are gonna learn a lot about me right now. I was at a doctor's appointment getting a pap smear, and the doctor was asking me about like what I did for work, and so I was like, oh, I like am a content creator. And then it was like, oh, like what type of content do you do? So I was like, oh, I'm in the paranormal. Like, we do paranormal investigations, because I don't like telling people I'm a medium right off the bat. I don't like it. But then she was asking about, like, my opinions of the afterlife, and I was like, well, I believe that there is an opinion of the afterlife. And then she asked me to, like, read her as a psychic medium while I was getting my pap smear. And then
the lights went out in the whole building. Mm-hmm. I was downstairs. I was drawing merch.
I tangled my pendulum.
Oh, you tangled it. Yeah. I was like, you tickled it?
I tickled my pendulum. During the pap smear? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's also, Riker and M, it's also unpredictable and works when it wants to work. I saw my first ghost at 3 years old, a man in white suit holding white hat, but you had dust mites falling through him as he faded. Yeah. As mediums, we don't have the ability to control who we talk to, because, like, as much as they have control over speaking and what they say, we have, like, control of, like, what we're asking, and I don't know. It's a two-way street. It's a communication, if you will. That's mediumship. So we aren't forcing souls to, like, tell us information. But I don't know. I don't see issue with doing mediumship readings, but a lot of people will come after mediums and be like, you're taking advantage of people in their vulnerable places. And I'm like, we're not taking advantage of people. If they are looking for that service, like, that is up to them. It makes me uncomfortable to offer it as a service because you have a lot of people coming in that it's fresh.
Yeah, and I am personally of the belief that if you are, like, freshly experiencing a loss in your family, that a psychic medium isn't the first place you should go. Mm-hmm. And that's just my personal opinion. It's not to say that, like, I get to control what other people do, but, you know, for me, I don't think that the first place you should go is a psychic or a medium, like, plain and simple. Mm. But I also don't think it's fair for other people who may be more, like, well adjusted to things, or even just be curious and, like, hearing what someone has to say. And I think it should be up to that person. And it's not to say that there's not going to be people who, like, that are offering readings, who are scamming, who are being, like, you know, sleazy. Like, those people are always going to exist. Absolutely. We're not trying to, you know, defend every single person on the planet. Like, right. One of the readings that we went to in California, we took one of our friends and they tried to tell him that he had this, like, crazy dark, like, attachment thing where
you have to spend $500 over to have multiple sessions
and to do an egg cleanse to get it off of him. Like, that's a little bit ridiculous.
That's what I was talking about, because I'm like, there are people that are like that want to, like fearmonger to, like, get money out of you or stuff like that. We've seen that a lot, and as mediums, we've seen that a lot, like, from other people. But I don't know. The main consensus is I don't think mediumship readings in and of themselves are, like, taking advantage of people. If you're an adult, you have the ability to, like, consent to those types of readings, and you need to be responsible for your own, like, mental state. So if you're not ready to have those conversations, like, don't be seeking out a medium. Because I'm like, I don't offer them now because they make me very nervous, but I'm like, I don't know if I'll do it in the future. I don't know if I would feel confident doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's times where we've read people's past loved ones, but I don't know. And we also are big advocates of, if you are, like, I don't know, if you're, like, extremely depressed or not feeling okay mentally, you should go to a therapist before you should ever, like, book a reading. Like, I don't know, I'm a big therapy advocate. One of our community members, Kayla, is, like, a counselor and stuff, so we actually are planning on doing a podcast with her about talking about...
she's coming next week.
Yeah, she's going to be coming and hanging out with us, so we want to do a podcast where we're talking about the balance between using spirituality and some of these things in tandem with like therapy and like proper mental health resources. Because
spirituality will help in like, I don't know, a lot of people work on like shadow work and stuff like that, and like, I don't know, working on your inner child and all of that stuff. So spirituality is a big influence for like bettering yourself, but we also think it is not a replacement for talking to a therapist. It's also not a replacement going to a medium to deal with grief type things, but they might be able to help you figure out what to go to your therapist with. But your therapist is the one that's going to know how to talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like actively in therapy for the last few years, like working through like my own like personal issues, because you know, trauma. But I don't know, I also like, I just gave it to you, Jay, because I've been meaning to give it to you.
Why did I have a wrench next to my name?
Sorry.
Yeah, I saw you in the last live stream and I was like, wait, why isn't Jay a mod?
Yeah, so I don't know, there are times where like I'll have M give me a reading and it might bring up emotions like in me or feelings that I then will take to my therapist to like actually work through properly in like a healthy manner. So I don't know, we're big like therapy advocates as well, and have been wanting to like do this podcast, so it works out even better that Kayla's gonna actually be here, because I think that is also a very important conversation that needs to be had in like spiritual and paranormal, even
because especially if we're getting a lot of more of like side-eye guys community coming over here, a lot of debunkers will criticize mediums and say you're taking advantage of people when they're at their lowest,
which I understand where that comes from.
Which I know where that's coming from, especially if you have like different beliefs in regards to like the afterworld. What is the word I'm looking for?
Afterlife?
Yes, that. The spirit realm. I'm like combining things and I'm like, I can't undo it now. Dyslexia. But we're not trying to take advantage of people. We're not faking things. We are doing the best we can as mediums to help people in a different way. What's up, side-eye guy?
What's up? Welcome in. And also, thank you everyone who's like new coming in, like hanging out with us tonight. I know we're not as poppin' as a side-eye guy, but
yeah, dude,
we are
so many people in your life.
We ordered our merch.
Yeah, we ordered merch because we thought it would be funny.
Yeah, I wish that we had it for like now so we could be like repping it, but
we ordered
have
it
the
through
kick me sign still.
We ordered it through Teespring, which apparently it takes a while to get. That's what he was talking about, and we like looked at each other and was like,
we're like, well, we just hit order on it, so guess we'll wait. It's fine.
But we're going to have Kayla come in, and she's going to talk more about the therapy side, and she's also in like the spirituals community.
Yeah.
I think she's a medium. She talks to whatever, and we're going to have a discussion about how therapy should not be a replacement for going to see a psychic.
What's up, Boo Productions Paranormal? Also, this is like a complete random thing, but I think you guys have gone to the Beale Manor at one point, because I read your guys'...
Wait, you have?
Because I read in like the book your guys' thing, so that's how I know your name. Anyways, completely like...
What did you get there? We have some weird shit from Beale Manor. So if you guys are new here, go watch the Beale Manor video and tell us what you think. We like literally start off and we're like, we have been trying to figure out if this is real or not, but every time we ask like debunk, if you will. The Beale, the second one, actually both of them, we got a lot of weird activity that keeps confirming that there was like a hidden room or like some weird shit going on in the basement of the manor. So
yeah, I still don't even know if it like is real or not. I'm still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But also I do agree that
well, we've not been there.
Okay, maybe it's someone else that has a similar name. I just recognize
There's so many names that are the same or similar.
But yeah, I do think that this turned into a really positive experience. And I think it brought up some really good conversations. I'm very happy about it.
Did you mean the opposite of him, or did I mishear? What was I talking about? I have ADHD, I don't know. Which name?
I thought it was Boo Productions, but I'm wrong.
Yeah, the Boo Productions Paranormal. Maybe it's because they're in Toledo? I don't know. The name says Toledo.
Also, I did see a question about, like, working through gender dysphoria. A lot of that I did with my therapist. Figuring out how I want to go about things. You said a therapist is not a replacement for seeing a psychic.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm dyslexic.
Opposite.
Yeah. Seeing a psychic is not a replacement to seeing a therapist. I'm dyslexic.
Keep freezing on my end. It looks like everything is okay on our end. I'm hardwired
we got excellent
now.
Connection.
And we haven't dropped frames, but if it gets worse, just...
Yeah, dude, sometimes when I watch our streams, only our streams, YouTube will just shut down the browser.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it might be a YouTube thing for you, so if you, like, reopen it, maybe that will help. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't... Like Em said, I don't think that a psychic is a replacement for a therapist. I think therapy is, like, where you should go first, especially if you're, like, grieving or struggling with, like, different issues, like mental issues. You can go to a, like, psychic medium to get maybe, like, information on what you should talk about with a therapist, but I don't think you should just replace it outright.
Yeah.
And that is something that I have a big issue with in, like, this is more for, like, the spiritual side of, like, the community. She talks quiet, so sometimes...
I also notice that I have a high voice, so if you go to our podcast, the mic is, like, down here, and it needs to be, like, here.
Just put it, like... No, don't do that.
This will be me the whole time.
Because I don't know, I think that there's some people in, like, the spirituality niche that, I don't know, say that just doing, like, your shadow work or like readings for yourself and just, like, your spiritual practice is, like, all you need to, like, heal all of this shit, and I disagree. I think that for me, spirituality and those things is more of a self-improvement tool. It's not a, like, replacement for, like, actual medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's still, like, you still don't necessarily know how to work through certain things, and a therapist is educated and trained to do so. You have to find the right one, but it is, I don't know, a lot of people will come and do readings because they, like, need someone to talk to, or they need someone to work through their emotions with, and that's, like, fine, but they also need to go to a therapist, because I don't know how to, like, help you heal emotionally from those things, so...
Yeah.
You know? I can just, give you a reading. So, but yeah. That is the mediumship talk of, like, where, I don't know, where debunkers come in and, like, give criticisms of that sort of stuff. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Seeing a therapist doesn't mean you're crazy at all. I think every single person on the planet can benefit from therapy.
Yeah, well, I think it's weird that, because I didn't think that people all thought that, but, like, people, like, close to me, like, think that if they submit to going to therapy that they're, like, validating that they have an issue, and I'm like, no, you are kind of, like, just helping yourself deal with everything in a more healthy way. You're helping yourself figure out how to deal with your emotions. It's not a bad thing. You're not crazy for going to a therapist.
And even if, like, you find out that you do have some mental thing going on, that's not a bad thing.
Okay, in the last live, or at least I think it was the last one, y'all said debunkers have changed the way you go about investigations, like not using flashlights anymore and such. What tech do you still use?
We don't have a lot of equipment
We're broke.
So like the equipment that we have like a tripwire rope, which we actually figured out can be set off with like
static electricity.
Yeah, because we were at Hinsdale House doing like a members live
puffer coats,
and it was cold, and M touched my face and shocked, and the whole thing lit up.
Yeah.
So we figured out that the tripwire rope can get set off by static
electricity,
which is we had no idea.
But it's like very obvious when that happens because the whole rope goes off.
Yeah, so we have that. We've used the EMF candle, but honestly, we don't pay attention to it because I don't know.
I want to have more of those. I just want to have like a couple, and we're in a dark room, and they just like set them off, so then it's dark and scary. Yeah. But
we have a music box, not the coffin one, the like polter tune.
Yeah.
But that is also like that comes and goes. Like
it depends. There's a lot of things that can go in front of it that can cause issues. So like dust. So if it's on a dusty floor, it won't stop going off. And a lot of times once it starts going on, it gets stuck and continues to go, which is an issue. And sometimes the REM pod will do that as well. The REM pod
does that a lot. But that is really the only equipment we have.
We also use a lot of like divination tools. We use Ouija boards, which
those are controversial as well.
We use Ouija boards.
We've messed around with some of the like ghost tube apps.
Yeah.
The one I like the most is the Vox one that is supposed to like generate. I don't love the word bank ones just because I feel like it's too, I don't know.
We're still like experimenting with those. We say that a lot because I don't know. I'm starting to figure out a lot of teams experiment with the phone apps because they're like, I don't know if this is really happening. But a lot of people flock towards Amy's Crypts, like apps that they have, like the ghost hunting apps. And I'm honestly surprised by the word bank apps because a lot of times we like don't realize how much the words like make sense to what's actually going on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I mean, there's times where like it spits out shit that is like has no relevance to anything.
And that's where it's kind of like, when is it happening or when it's not happening?
And I also want to say, because I know a lot of people like have questions about like why mediums use equipment.
Yeah.
Because like we can see, like if we can see and talk to like if we can communicate with them, why do we like need the equipment? We like using it personally just because we feel like it's a little bit more, I don't know, entertaining for like the viewer to be able to like have something like else in there that can like
it validate
things. And obviously not everything is like, you get false positives, not everything is 100% like
yeah, very much with the equipment. A lot of the equipment is like very easy to set off, which is why it is like very easily debunkable for the most part. But it's when it is acting in a paranormal fashion, which is like, again, how do you determine that type of thing? But when it is acting in a paranormal fashion, so it is acting like intelligibly, that is where you get the like evidence of things. So like we stopped using flashlights for the most part. Sometimes we'll use them, but we tend to not want to because a lot of times they just go off and on. A lot of times they'll do it like on a pattern. Well, they'll just keep going on or they won't go on at all. So it's just kind of like confusing more than useful.
I guess I should say we also have a K2, but we don't use the K2.
Oh yeah, we have a K2.
The only time that we've like actually like fully gotten things on the K2 was at Hinsdale House, but it was only going off because
I've gotten things on it before.
But I guess in like recently though,
not
like,
recently.
We've gotten nothing. The only time was at Hinsdale where the tour guide told us to put it next to the doll, and it was just going off constantly, and it was because there happens to be a heater like 2 feet away from it that was triggering it.
If you're in a place that has a lot of electricity, you have to like debunk where the EMF is. And some places will tell you there's EMF in this hallway, so don't use your REM pod because it's not going to work right.
Yeah, we had people wanting us to get the dead bell, and I'm happy that before we did, we saw the Paranormal Quest and all like the like debunks like going into that. Cause
they said that it went off like how many times? Like over 100 times in like a few hours.
Yeah, it only like there was only a few little bit of like
silence.
Yeah. The Fine Art Medium has created amazing cards. We've actually been we know her. We've been watching her like a Kickstarter for the like Oracle deck. We actually want to get it eventually.
I loved when you guys would vlog while traveling to the location. We actually started doing that on Haunted Smoke and Mirrors because we like think the vlog itself is like kind of very similar to our content already. So we're now going on like trips where we do a couple investigations. So we vlog the entire trip. And then those vlogs are going to go on to Haunted Smoke and Mirrors. So the vlog where we went to Chicago and we did stuff in Illinois, right?
Yes.
We did Ashmore there.
Yeah, we did Ashmore.
We have the vlog of that. And so then look for vlogs over there.
Yeah, and then we have a vlog from New York as well that will be going out after I finish editing the Shanley.
Yes. Why aren't people using normal bell at investigations? There's actually a lot of bells that are set out at these investigations. They like hang them from the ceilings and stuff, or like hangs them from doors.
I've never
heard them go off.
Heard any of them go off.
I'm sure that they go off. Maybe I don't know because I've never been there when it goes off.
Yeah, and yeah, like Side Guy said, the expensive is so like the equipment is so expensive. It's insane.
Yeah, and a lot of it is very like finicky.
I would love to like play around with some of it more to just like I don't know
how it works,
have fun with it. But it's so expensive. Like so, like the newest thing that we got was the tripwire rope, and that was because Erica, who's in the chat, was kind enough and bought it from us.
Yeah, she got it off of our phone.
Yeah.
But it's when it acts like weird and paranormal is when we like take it as like actual information, because you'll see us like in investigations, like I think the Hinsdale house, the music box goes off initially when we like start the investigation, which we're like, oh, that's weird, because every time the last 3 investigations, anytime we start, it immediately starts going off, even though it's been sitting there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But during the entire like section or like segment,
I realized that it was going off like it would be on for like 5 seconds, off for 3, or one of the two.
Yeah, so
like,
we stopped listening to it.
Yeah, we stopped paying attention to it, and then
at the end
we should just reset it because it's not
working correctly.
Anything.
So a lot of times the equipment will be a little bit iffy solely because it is made to be easy for like things to set it off.
Yeah, like the tripwire rope at Wildwood Sanatorium. Yeah. There's were a lot of places we could actually use it because there was wiring all throughout the floor, so it was constantly being triggered.
But we've seen it like work. We put it like on a concrete floor in the basement of the Beale Manor, and we're like, okay, where are we supposed to go? Where is this hidden room that you talk about? And it literally just lit up the one section pointing towards the direction that they keep telling us to go, like where this hidden room is supposed to be. So
and we still do the Estus method, yes. I like doing the Estus method. I know that it's a lot of people are like, it's like pareidolia, and you're kind of just hearing like what you want to hear, and you're
but I have like opinions about that,
and I agree with that, but I also disagree to an extent. I think it all like depends on the like person, and like
because like you can't hear the questions, so if you're lining up what you're saying to the person talking, that could indicate things, but again, sometimes it doesn't make sense and nothing makes sense or whatever.
We've had really good Estus methods, and we've had some that are like absolute dog shit and nothing happens.
But at the same time, I believe everyone has gifts. I believe everyone's a medium. When you are listening to a spirit box, you are using your gift of clairaudience, which is psychic hearing, and you are picking out words and phrases in order to be used for your investigation. So it is very much like a test of like people's like clairaudient abilities. It's almost like a divination tool to help you communicate with spirit.
I'm almost as far behind the live as Seg gets behind the chat. That was crazy.
There were so many
people. You were
people
like
in
an
there,
hour and a half behind.
You said that's not normal?
I mean, I don't blame you, but that was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I was cracking jokes about it.
Yeah, dude, there were so many people. It was interesting to watch. But we did make a lot of changes based upon what debunkers have told us or have told the community. They haven't necessarily told us specifically.
Yeah, it's just overall.
Mm-hmm. Because like that person, I forget their name, commented and said, we try not to use flashlights. We have also started posting all of our like raw footage of the investigation. So you get all of the angles of the cameras that we have out, and it's uncut for each like section. So we're not like uploading like 12 hours of footage in one video. We break it down into sections, and we release that to our members. So you should put the members thing in there.
Oh yeah.
But if you guys are interested in like that sort of content, because we did it for Beale, that's the only one that's up right now. We're going to have members content, the uncut stuff for the New York series.
Yeah.
So it's really cool footage because we can't include everything in the video, and a lot of the stuff we like talk about what's going on like after the segment is done, so you get a lot of more exclusive pieces of information. But we're like, a lot of debunkers ask for like the raw footage and seeing how it is uncut.
So we were like, oh, that's a good idea.
We don't have anything to hide, go look.
Yeah, we should like, I don't know.
Thanks, Naughty.
Naughty, thank you so much.
Oh, you have alerts.
Yeah.
Look how cute it is. It wrote your name, Matt.
Yeah, I didn't have it when when I was doing the other live because I didn't want it to be distracting, but yeah.
What's up,
Oh, Cow got one, yes.
Cow!
Sorry, we love Cow.
Go to the Discord, all of you. And how you do that, sign into Discord and then connect your YouTube channel.
Yeah, what's up?
Join us.
Thank you so much, Naughty. Hey, what's up, Cow?
So that, what was I gonna say? That's content's crazy.
We also, made it a point to, because there were times where we, like previously, when we would investigate, we wouldn't like overtly like debunk something.
Yeah, we would just stop using it or whatever and then cut that out because like...
Yeah, but we make more of an effort to like call it out and like leave that in to show kind of like how it actually is. So like like for Hinsdale, like initially I was just not going to include the cam that was on the K2 because it just kept going off constantly because of the heater that was by it. But we decided to actually keep it in and then show how we figured out that it was like not actually going off properly.
Yeah, because we like, I don't know if we were allowed to touch the doll, but she wasn't in the box. There was a doll in the box that we were not allowed to touch because apparently she was very haunted, which is upsetting. I would have liked to, whatever, experience that. So we moved the doll to like a rocking chair that was right next to this heater,
and it was still doing that,
and it was going off like crazy. So then we moved her to a couch and it stopped,
and it would not go off. So
yeah, so I picked it up and like put it on this heater, and it sure as shit goes off.
Yeah, because I haven't been doing like paranormal investigations for that long. Truly, I've only been doing them for a little over a year, so there's still a lot that I am learning about how to do it properly, and we take all of like, I don't know, everything that we see, we like, I don't know, we like absorb it and make changes to our own like content, because like people who have been here for a while, you guys have probably noticed how it's changed from like a year ago to like now. We like do things not like completely differently. It's not like it's a complete overhaul, but we've grown a lot in our investigations.
Yeah, but it's also like, I don't know, people talk about this a lot. in the paranormal community, you need to have debunkers coming in to, like, I don't know, I explained it in the podcast as, like, checks and balances. It goes both ways. So, like, people always say, we don't have a problem with debunking, and then they, like, explain their problems with debunking, and it's like, I don't know that there's necessarily a problem with the debunking. It's the, like, things that cross the line. So a lot of people are like, well, you can't debunk my content because you're not even here. And it's like, yes and no. You can definitely be like, okay, these are the possibilities of what's going on. I wasn't necessarily there, but this is, like, this is how it can be debunked. So then us as ghost investigators are like, oh, duly noted. We will do better to, like, express that those things are not happening. So, like, maybe you have one camera and you're pointing it at some, like, you have, like, it handheld so you don't see the whole room. And then you're, like, when something happens, moving the camera over there. And a debunker's like, well, how do I know that something else didn't set it off? How do I know that this or that or this isn't happening?
Which,
then you get more cameras.
have you ever been tempted to go to a dead celebrity's home or where they are said to haunt to have a chat? I'd love to chat with John Lennon. Honestly, no. Yeah. I've talked to and we've talked about it quite a bit. I've never been like interested in talking to dead celebrities.
We've had people ask us about it,
but I think it's personally a little bit weird. But and like it's not. I mean,
since you're asking, I have I've talked to Einstein, but Einstein was like specifically coming in to tell me about like time relativity.
Science.
So science things. I wasn't talking to him about his life.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a little weird to like.
It's all a bit weird. Let's face it. I mean,
true, 100% true. It all is weird, but I don't know. To me, I'm like, I have like no personal ties or anything to any of these dead celebrities. To me, it's like if you see a celebrity in a restaurant and like they're like eating, enjoying the meal, and you like interrupt them to be like, hey, can you get a picture with me? It's kind of like
that's how it feels when we go talk to
that's them. To me, that's how like they would act.
Like if they come over and talk to us, that's different than us being like, you need to come over here and talk to us right now because like this is your grave or something like that, or like your house.
Yeah, it's the same as how I would it's the same feeling as I would never be one to like do house calls.
Yeah,
I know we've had some people tell us that we should do house calls. I don't
know what we would do if we went to, because like I think people go there to like cleanse the house, or I don't know how to do that.
I've seen a growing trend of investigators who go to investigate people's houses
just to like because they're haunted.
Well, the people who live there say that they're haunted.
Yeah,
and so the investigators go and like they kick the family out of the house and then they like investigate that family's house. And I've seen a lot of like I wouldn't feel comfortable with it because I'm like, one, an actual like people live here. To me, it's very different than going to like
it's very personal,
a like haunted location where like
we're paying someone
to be there. Like,
yeah, but I don't know, because I've watched people do it on TV, but like they're like, this is what's going on in your house, and then they come back and cleanse it. So like,
yeah,
I just think it's interesting that investigators are like, yes, it is in fact haunted. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what would they get out of
Beardo put out a video today that I think maybe it was yesterday, talking about like someone who was doing
house calls.
Yeah, they were doing a house call and they were like, we found like absolute proof that there's a demon in the house, and it was like,
oh my god.
Like, I don't know.
And then they were like, okay, that was a good time.
That would like cross, to me, that crosses a line.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen someone do it without like cleansing the house. I think it's a bit weird to just go there and be like, it's definitely haunted.
The Dead Files, is that the
yeah, now that's the one I would keep talking to you about. A medium
I have not watched it.
And then there's, I think it's her husband or something. Her husband's like a cop or whatever, and he does all the like history and the backstory of the like location, and she like goes in, they like take all the like pictures off the walls, and she like goes in and is like, this is who's here, this is like what's going on, and then she goes back in and then like cleanses it based upon what souls are there.
Yeah, I think Boo Productions does house calls, but he doesn't post them
I would cause
to YouTube, because I think that is like, I don't know, I don't have issue with that. I don't know, I don't feel like I would be comfortable like going to somebody's house and like filming. I don't, unless like I like knew who they were personally.
Well, yeah.
Rescue mediums. I've heard of rescue mediums. I have not watched it.
Well, I feel like rescue mediums are doing the cleansing, right? Or like they're crossing souls over or whatever. They're like doing a service. They're not just going in there being like, it's haunted.
Yeah, I also turtle trees. So asking, I love watching the two of you grow individually as a couple. Do you feel that the trust you have between the two has been the biggest factor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I feel like if you don't have trust and you are trying to work with your spouse, friend, or whatever it is, it will end very badly for you. And that's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, we talk a lot about this stuff.
Yeah, they cross souls that are in the houses. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's different.
I think that there's, for me at least, there's a line of like...
Because I think that's what Ed and Lorraine Warren would do. Well, that was even weird.
I was like...
Ed and Lorraine Warren, I'm pretty sure Ed would like... I don't know if he... Oh, dude, I think he like would sit on like the street and like would draw these, like paint these people's houses and then go up to the door and be like, you want to buy my painting? And then he would like schmooze them and be like, you know what? I think your house might be haunted. I have a wife who's a medium and we can come and look at your house. And maybe they cleanse them too. I don't know. But
I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird about it. But I don't think I would want to.
I don't think I would want to either. But
house calls.
I don't have a problem with other people doing it.
Yeah, I would not want to do house calls personally.
I would not want to do house calls either. I would be terrified of you like locking me in your basement or some shit like that.
The only house call that I would like do is like, my mom has a friend who's
if
like,
we know them, that's fine.
Who's like, who wants us to investigate their house. That is to me very different than like a stranger, a random
on the internet.
Yeah,
that would be scary. I feel like you'd be like, I think there's something in that room, and then you would lock me in there, and then I would not have a good day.
Have a lot of fears about this stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, it's what I dream about. Right? Stranger. I was told as a child not to talk to strangers, and it seeped in so well that when I was a child, I wouldn't even talk to the people, like the teachers at school. So they thought I was dumb, but I was like, you scare me.
Yeah, lots of accounts and stories that Ed wasn't a nice guy.
Oh, there's a lot of tea about Ed. A lot of tea about that whole family, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just mentioned Ed and Lorraine Warren, and your YouTube videos get skyrocketed. It's crazy, which it makes sense, but it is weird.
Damn, we should do a video on Ed and Lorraine Warren.
We can. I know way too much about them.
I don't know. Like, I know some of the things that I've seen on YouTube.
Only thing is, I don't want to do the weird like drama-y stuff, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's valid.
I'd rather just focus on their career, not their personal lives.
That, I agree with that.
Yeah. Because I do have opinions about how they view the paranormal, because I feel like they're very fear-mongery.
Yeah. Mouse fart set off a K2. True, yeah, if you like shake it too much.
If you shake it too hard, it goes off. So... Yeah, the K2s are like $30 or something, and they act like they're $30.
Yeah, that's also why we don't do like the recordings for EVPs.
Oh, I hate the recordings for EVPs, because you just like hold it in your hand and it like makes a
like, I know, you're like, I have gotten like EVPs before.
They've gotten like crazy things before.
We don't have an EVP recorder, and I
don't want one. I think it's just hard to hear through like this morphed static recording of what's actually going on. So if we're gonna get EVP, it's gonna be off of one of our camera mics that have better audio quality than a tiny little recorder that you're holding in your hand.
Quantum Nugget is back.
Weird.
Since you know who he is now.
Also, why are you here? What? I haven't seen you in so long. I know.
Why are you
Why
here?
are you here? What's going on?
M knows him personally. It's okay.
This is my friend. I'm like, I think you fell off the face of the earth. He's in like medical school or something. And I'm like, wow, I haven't seen you in a while. What a video to show up at.
I also saw someone like make comments about the SLS. I don't like the SLS either.
Dude, him being so welcoming. I'm like,
isn't that just like an Xbox Connect
it
rig?
is.
And there's so many times where I see people
they
be
like
oh
pointed
my
at
gosh,
a lamp.
it's like there's something there, and it's just like a lamp that it's like
Yeah, it's
mapping.
literally
And I'm like, there's
mapping the
not
lamp.
anything there. It's
If it was on like a white wall and then was like moving, no, okay, not even if it was on a white wall. If it was on a white wall and then like a vase got thrown at my face and its hand like attached to the vase and it moved with the vase moving towards my head, that's how I would believe it.
Yeah, I don't trust SLS personally.
Favorite ghost hunting toys: the EMF rope.
Same.
When it's weird, but when it goes off and it's meant to go off, it is weird.
Literally said I got
Literally, even
like,
back when I used to play the
I'm like,
Kinect.
I have an Xbox Connect, but I don't think it's gonna do shit. I don't know. I have opinions on it. It's supposed to be stationary, not swung around like a tennis racket. Yeah, like if it was like stationary, pointing down a hall.
Yeah.
And like there was like it was very like, I don't know, not
something
just
moved in relation to it,
it'll map like doorways and like door frames or windows. Like
people
it
be like, there's someone on the ceiling. Why are you on the ceiling? And it's like, maybe they're not on the ceiling.
It's such a fucking, I don't know. I don't like SLS stuff.
I don't either. So
because it didn't catch black people. I can't remember if that's the case or not, honestly.
it catches lamps now.
Calling out some Ghost Adventures here. I've
Calling
seen
out Ghost Adventures.
I was like, I know that like they've used it, but
Nah,
I don't think that it's like it works well for ghost hunting personally.
I mean, I have a Connect. I think I have two Connect. I have one from the 360 and then one from the like new one, Xbox One or something. But you have to like rig it so that it like connects to like a laptop or like some sort of device with a screen, and I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
but you can buy them.
But there's a reason
expensive.
Xbox doesn't still use any doesn't like make that technology. Like,
Yeah, just
for
buy
things.
a VR headset.
I would trust a VR headset much more. To pain in the ass, I got it working for VR that once. I wanna
What?
play more VR
Wait,
games.
Connect? I don't know what you're saying. Sorry, Quantum Nugget is my friend. I know him.
Severance finale. Everyone talks about Severance, and I want to start like.
What's that?
It's a TV show.
What's it about?
I don't know, but everyone talks about how great it is. It's on Apple TV. We have my mom's thing for Apple TV now, so we can watch shows on Apple TV. So I want to show you Mythic Quest.
I have no idea. Severance is the fucking best. What's it about?
I like that. Now we're just quiet. Sorry, gonna tell us?
Wait,
I don't know what it's about. I think from my best guess is it's like a dude is like, I don't know. People get like hooked up wires to their brains or some shit, and they're like put into this like virtual other like type of world. All I know is that one of the like
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No. Mythic Quest. It's one of the first time I actually learned about Mythic Quest
Severance is the
is the blue light glasses. This is a fun fact. The blue light glasses that one of the like main dudes wears in the TV show are Gunner glasses, and I used to work for that company. That's what my yellow glasses are. I don't actually wear them that much anymore. I got laid off. That's why I talk to ghosts now for a living.
A really cheap, crappy way to get a full body tracking for VR chat without buying 5 trackers. Makes sense.
This huge company has tech to put a chip in your brain so you cannot remember the outside world when you're at work, so you get split into 2 different people.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
We should watch it. Why do you have the kick me sign? Oh, that was solely because we used it for the thumbnail earlier today. We thought it would be funny.
Yeah, we made a podcast on our other channel, our podcast channel, which the title of it is Debunkers Aren't Bullies. So we thought it would be funny to like make a like bully inspired thumbnail. So that was on my back. Yeah. I wrote that this morning and took that picture in pigtails. The tear was my favorite added to that.
I thought it would be funny to put like, because I made the thumbnail, I was like, I'm gonna put a like tear. Dramatic tear. I feel like everyone like does the like tear edits for things,
which I think we like. we did that, and people are like, "Oh, drama," and we're like, "Did you read the title?"
I mean, if they look at the thumbnail, it is just like,
it looks like Side Eye Guy is bullying us.
Mm-hmm. Which I think he said he likes the thumbnail, so
I like the thumbnail. Yeah, I don't know. In that we like, I don't know. We use our podcast to talk a lot about like controversial things. So yeah, we did like the one where it was like we did the stereotypical like fake scratches. Yeah. He had scratches down my neck that made him look funny. As fake as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people like use that to like clickbait, and I'm like, is that really happening? But we talk about fear mongering into like paranormal because. Yeah. I don't know, if you watch Hinsdale House, both of us were like, we got scratch on our like device or whatever.
So you're like, okay, scratch it.
Do it. We won't believe it unless it happens in front of our faces.
Yeah.
And apparently like scared your stepdad.
Yeah. My stepdad was like, no.
We're trying to get him on a ghost hunt and we like scared him, so I don't think he's gonna go on a ghost hunt with us.
Listen, I'm like down to get scratched. I just would need to like see it happen in like a very obvious way.
Otherwise you're just gonna think that you did it. You just ran into the wall or something.
Dude, I'm clumsy.
Feel shit.
He was disturbed.
He was disturbed.
Yeah, dude, I'm clumsy as fuck.
Yeah.
It is more likely that I'm going to like scratch or bruise myself or do something than any ghost is going to. Like, I would love like. The 2 things that Em and I are waiting for is to get, like, very obviously scratched.
Yeah.
And have something be thrown at us.
Yeah, like, obviously. Because we've had, like, things that we can't explain. Like, we went to the, like, Ashmore Estates, and obviously our cameras were not rolling because we were setting up a live stream. But we went with, like, a group of people, and those people were, like, outside. And Riker and I were setting up the live stream, and these like footsteps came running up to us, like so physically that I thought that it was like one of our like other teammates coming in and like scaring us, like hiding and then running at us. So I was like freaked out, like went into Riker's arms, and then we're like, hello?
And then 5 minutes later, we
heard the door come like open from outside, and we're like,
yeah. And of course, we weren't fucking recording that.
Yeah, and it was on the first floor on cement, running towards us, and it was like so clear that I thought there was someone running up at us, like who was in the building. So we have had experiences that are not like in regards to like our mediumship or in regards to like our devices or anything like that were kind of like, that was weird, which a lot of shit like that happens at like Ashmore Estates, because they showed us this EVP that they got where there's like this little girl saying, "He's coming," and it was off of like the EVP was recorded on someone's phone because they were like recording video, and it was gross.
Bye, side-eye guy. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. This isn't going to be a 2-hour stream. It might be, actually. Who knows? I think it would be funny if it was. Sorry, I opened Discord and now I'm
behind.
I'm looking at what they're saying. They're talking about playing Repo later.
They play Repo every day, I think.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, there's a lot of people.
Ash is addicted to Repo. That's why.
But does anyone have any questions? They could be about anything.
Yeah.
But basically, the main consensus of like our podcast and like what's going on with Side-Eye Guy and stuff like that is because of his like reaction to us reacting to him. It like shows now that I don't know, it changed our opinions about debunking, because originally we were like, the paranormal community is like so toxic, like, and we equated it to like debunkers coming in and making it like that way. But after talking to him and him apologizing, obviously he's not toxic. Yeah, obviously that's not the issue at hand. Mm-hmm. Literally just him answering the phone and the tone of his voice, I was like, oh shit, I get it. We were fucking influenced to believe that this was one-sided, and it's fucking not. So we want to try to, like, I don't know, remove the toxicity from the niche by asking people to take accountability. So we made a podcast talking about how debunkers are responsible for their community as much as paranormal investigators are responsible for their community. They need to respond with respect as much as debunkers need to respond with respect. They have a line too, and a lot of people think that, oh, well, these debunkers are like bullying us and like being really mean and awful, so I'm just gonna like do the same thing back. That is an issue. That is just going to make the niche toxic and going to like take people out from the niche because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, because I don't know, I have no issue with debunkers like debunking our content.
Yeah, that's like, fine.
That
makes our content better.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's when people start getting influenced to create hate, so they come in and are like, you suck because of how you look or how you dress or how you talk or you as a person. There's a line. Everybody is very clear of what the line is. If you wouldn't say it to someone's face in person, you probably shouldn't say it on the internet. Yeah. And that's just all we're asking.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that you can't still like criticize or have opinions.
But you can
things.
say it really respectfully.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
This was your water, and I'm drinking all of it. Please don't do house calls unless you've worked with people that have done them. That's my background, and it's not for YouTube. Yeah, no, that is my opinion. I'm not equipped to handle.
I'm too scared of strangers, I guess.
I want to say that Side-Eye Guy reaction to your reaction to his video on the whole discourse needs to be studying psychology is incredibly nuanced and respectful. Yeah. I don't know. I know that we are nobodies in the paranormal. Like, we are fucking nobodies. Like, we're a small channel. We're
fairly new.
We haven't, like, those meddling mediums hasn't been around for very long. But I don't know. I am happy that things were able to, I don't know, it was able to be a productive conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he literally came to us and was like, you changed my perspective based upon your reaction to the video that I made about you. And his reaction to us like made us question things, because we have dealt with a lot of toxic people in our lives, and one thing they don't do is apologize to you, let alone give you the most sincere apology you've ever gotten. So like, that made me realize, like, I don't want to feel like I have to like cater our content around like haters, because that's what we felt like we were doing for so long. We're like, oh, how are they gonna like say horrible things to us about this, or how are they gonna like hate on us because of what we're saying or how we're saying or what we're doing? Because that, like, Riker's response was basically like saying, we're not going to play the game anymore. I'm just gonna be me, and that's just what's gonna happen. And that's how we're going to like cater this channel to now. We're not going to allow hate to happen.
Hi, Rosie. We
What's
miss
up?
you. We love you. Hello.
Hello.
And yeah, I don't know. I think Side-Eye Guy in his video, I'll say it again, in like the initial reaction, I think he made very valid points about our content. Hands down. Like, there were things that we clarified, but there wasn't really anything where I felt like he was wrong in what he was saying.
Crossing a line.
So that is like, you know.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, people get bent out of shape about the jokes. That is kind of how YouTube works. And if you view them more as comedians that are like, I don't know, making jokes about you. I don't know, they say that comedians making jokes about you is like an utmost sign of like respect or like care. Yeah, there's still a line. You still can't be mean when you're saying certain things, but yeah, I get it now. It makes sense solely because of how he was.
And I don't know. I also like. I also don't expect any of the debunkers to like believe that we're mediums or like have their opinions change about that, and that is not what like.
That's not what it was about.
Because like again, we completely understand that. That's not where I'm concerned about, and it's also like, I don't know. We all can learn things from each other in different ways, like. And I don't know. I will always be the first to admit when I've got something wrong. Always, like. So that video was not a good video. I had not watched that video at all, especially since after like we recorded it. I didn't watch that reaction.
The video that he reacted to. The Mackie and Amanda reaction.
Yeah. M edited it, so like we recorded it and then I stopped. So watching it back, I was like, oh wow, this was so bad.
That video was the video right after we had to take a whole bunch of content down, and then Riker lost their job.
Yeah, so I was like,
so we were both like, we don't have any money. What's gonna happen? Like, we don't have a career. We're like going to like not be able to support ourselves.
Yeah, we didn't have we didn't have a ghost hunt lined up.
Nope.
So we were like, okay, we have to do this because we need to keep doing content.
So we did it very quickly,
and it resulted in a shit video.
We're not okay because of all of those things. So
yeah,
we learned to not do things for money because it sucks, and we still don't have any money. So what was it for anyways?
Yeah. So now if we do reactions, we just do it in our members' Discord to just hang out and vibe with people, because I think that I have more fun doing that anyways.
Because like a lot of people in the community, in his community or in our community that didn't watch all of the like videos and stuff, are trying to come at us at Riker about like, oh, you're just trying to get out of it. Like, you're trying to, like, not take accountability. But, like, that's not what it's about. And we, like, both now see, like, both sides need to take accountability. Like, Riker didn't... Like, people are, like, confused about why Riker's, like, sexuality came up. Why, like, autism came up. Why, like, all these other things came up.
And to me, it was clear. It's because those people also didn't... Yeah. They don't have the full context of it. So, I understand that. And that's...
Yeah, but like we're not trying to get out of it. We're just trying to explain who we are as people, so what you're seeing can make more sense. But we're not taking accountability for the things that we say or do in our content. But we also like took that video down because
we weren't proud of it.
Yeah, and if people are gonna react to our content, they should react to the things that we are like that are representative of our channel. So like,
which I don't know, maybe that's like weird to say, because I feel like I don't know. We've only had like debunkers cover our channel when it's like a reaction to somebody else,
it like includes another YouTuber.
Yeah,
because we're tiny.
Which like I get why that happened.
Yeah, because
like,
we're tiny.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I've often said to debunkers, how can you know a channel if you only watch one video? I watch a lot of channels. There are times I yell, you don't understand.
It depends.
Yeah, I think it depends.
It depends on what they're saying, but I agree with that.
Because, I don't know, like, for, like, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Like, when we were doing reactions, like, those did get more views. Mm-hmm. And for someone like Psychic Guy, who has in the past covered a lot of Mackie and Amanda, seeing 2 other psychic mediums reacting to that on the channel, it's a like shorter video. I think it was shorter, and it's like we put that on our channel, and that was still us kind of like,
it was easy.
If you happen to watch that video, came across that video first on our channel, and you were a brand new subscriber, that would set the tone of how the rest of the channel would go. And being completely honest, if I was a new viewer and that video of ours was the first that I watched, I would probably not come back to the channel.
Yeah.
And that's like
why it's gone.
And that's why we were like,
why is this on here?
And we had already talked like long before this about wanting to like potentially remove content or like clean things up because we wanted to like,
we had a very hard shift.
Yeah, so
we were not okay for a very long time, and we're still not okay, but we're able to work more on content and make it more into our passion instead of our jobs. So
I do agree with you there, Cree. I do agree with you there. That when you don't understand who the person is, you're debunking. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
do agree with that.
There are like certain accusations that the like debunkers come in and I understand why they're making like very harsh judgments of things, but like, if you don't watch their content, how do you know they're inadvertently faking unless you are like know them personally? But a lot of times people like just don't know if it is paranormal or not. So like, I don't know, we've watched content where like there's a shadow figure in someone's content and they're like, oh my god, this is like the craziest thing we got. And they like put text on the screen in post. And a debunker covered them and was like, you put the shadow figure in there yourself, when from our point of view, I don't think that they would be able to do that. That seems like a very technical thing to be able to do. And their content is very like relaxed and like, I don't know what the right word is. It is like very vloggy. Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot of like post put into it, number one. And number two, to me, it seems like it's more obvious that the shadow figure is coming from the 4 lights from the people in the room casting one of their shadows on a wall. So, like, accusations can be, like, kind of muddied down if you don't know who you're talking about and stuff like that. There's a lot of other things, but yeah. Yeah.
Side Guy's made no secret of the fact that he finds Mackie and Amanda difficult to watch, so I think possibly... Oh, yeah, no, I don't blame him for covering the video.
Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of videos on Mackie and Amanda, so it makes sense that he chose that video. We knew why he chose that video.
Yeah. Also, this is completely random, but Em and I were talking the other day, and I said I was going to include it in the podcast, and I didn't. It upset me so bad, so I'm going to say it now. Because I saw, like...
People think that debunkers are choosy on who they choose.
It was specifically, they were saying that Beardo picks and chooses who he debunks, and Em and I were in the car talking about it, and I was like, no, he doesn't. His hands are rated E for everyone. He swings equally at people. I mean, he posts like 3 or 4 times a week. He needs to have free reign of everyone's content. Yeah, like he swings at everyone equally. And
I just thought it was the funniest joke.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking true. But a lot of people think that he's picky and choosy and only goes after like the bigger channels for like clout. But I don't think that's true.
Yeah, just
we both don't think that's true.
Just plain Beardo.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also been seeing a lot of hashtag Beardo's fault or something. I think he has t-shirts for that, which I think is also hilarious. Oh, look who's texting me. Are you still in here?
May I ask why you removed your collab with Mackie and Amanda? They still have your collab with In Public. That collab helped spread your reach, and it was about ghost hunting. Why private it? We, like, to be full transparency, I felt like we kept being judged for our connection to Mackie and Amanda versus who we were as people. And while, yeah, it could spread our reach, I'm not necessarily as worried about, like, getting more views on it. I want to be known for being Em and Riker and those meddling mediums, not just Mackie and Amanda's friends. Yeah. And it's nothing against them. It's just...
We have gotten a lot of hate in regards to the people that we have been, like, collabing with or reacting to, and we just want a clean slate to, like, try to be our own channel and not, like, you know, being, like, brought up by these other channels. But, yeah. I mean, we still have Mackie's reading on our other channel, which you guys should go check out because she's a lovely person. But yeah. A lot of people were saying that we were, like, friends and know everything about them to try to, like, invalidate us and, like, say that we're being fake and, like, that sort of thing, and that's not true.
We removed other content besides just that as well.
We removed a lot of our older stuff and because we have evolved and we've changed our investigations and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So. How'd you come up with your name? It's adorable. Emma's the one who came up with it.
Well, we used to, like, call ourselves those meddling kids, like, from Scooby-Doo, because every time we went to a place, we would, like, reveal some, like, weird, crazy secret. Because, like, for example, like, we went to, like, Madison Seminary, and at Madison Seminary, there's, like, the big, bad, evil surgeon. But we, like, went in there, and the surgeon was like, I really hate when people tell me that I'm horrible, because I was just following the, like, standard of, like, medical care at that point, because he was, like, doing, like, experimental, like lobotomies and stuff like that, like experimental mental procedures in the asylum of Madison Seminary. And he was like, I'm not evil, I was literally just, like, following, like, medical procedures from that time. We just didn't know any better. So we would go into locations and be like, actually, this person's not bad, this person's, like, really cool.
The reason people are going into these places and, you know, screaming and yelling is part of the fear mongering, and as mediums we feel like that is, and even just as humans, we feel like that is disrespectful to the souls, because not every single person is like like an evil. Because, like, I don't know, like, if you go into, like, any place that, like, claims to have some sort of, like, medical... Demonic. Well, no, I'm just saying, like medical, like, anything, like, whether it's asylum or whatever, it is always, like, they did these horrific experiments, but you're, like, talking about a doctor from, like, the 1800s, where, like, medical practices that they have today didn't exist. So, like, not everything was, like, trying to, like... hurt people, because, like, people said that about, like, Wildwood Sanitarium, of, like, it's like they did, like, horrible experiments on people,
shock therapy, they
did holistic treatments, they didn't didn't do surgeries or drugs. Like, there was one doctor who would come and do lobotomies at times, but which is, like, maybe that's where they're getting it, but they weren't doing this, like, horrific, like, everything, like, I don't know.
Which is, like, why we, like, started calling ourselves those meddling kids, because we would unmask the paranormal. We would unmask these, like, secrets that people just, like, thought were, like, these horrible people or these horrible situations. We would bring light to them. So when we were like, okay, we're gonna have, like, a paranormal channel, we're gonna do this, like, on YouTube, we were like, we can't do meddling kids because, like, that's probably copyrighted or whatever.
And it is.
And it's really hard to get, like, a name or, like, a podcast, a YouTube channel, like, all that stuff. So I was like, you know it would be really cool if it was those meddling mediums, because we're a team of mediums. So that is where the name came from. But
and one of our audience members, Nibbler Girl, crocheted us this really cute Scooby-Doo. It's upstairs in our bedroom. That we try to remember to bring up ghost investigations.
Dude, there's too much going on. We forgot it for the New York trip, but we hide it in somewhere.
Yeah, we hide it somewhere. We like to hide it somewhere in the video for people to find as just like a fun thing.
Yeah, so you can find Scooby-Doo somewhere in our investigations, and let us know in the comments where he is.
But yeah, so it is very much kind of a play on the Scooby-Doo
shit.
Like, OMG, like, gag me with a spoon. Listen, gag me with... Every time I see someone say gag me with a spoon, I think of Critical Role Ashley Johnson. The people who are, like, upset about me talking about myself, I didn't even start talking about my love for Critical Role. I could talk for 4 hours about Critical Role, and I have.
You could trigger a whole community, apparently. That's where we're at with that. That's what I know about Critical Role. Just wear a shirt and you can trigger an entire community of people.
Yeah, I also know that I do say the word like a lot. I don't mean to.
Yeah.
But also, in that video was a lot worse than normal. I was not.
But that's like part of YouTube. Everyone is like, stop saying the same thing over and over again. But when you talk for 3 hours in a live stream, I don't know how else to talk, and I just constantly think about it because I say the same thing over and over again. I'll say, however, anyways, and even when I'm doing, like, when I'm writing, like, readings for people, I'm like, dude, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna say however 7 times in your, like, 1 paragraph, in a, like, 2-sentence paragraph. I don't care.
Also, have a good night, Boo Productions. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm reading things.
No, you're fine. I'm also just reading things. I say, like, way too much. I know myself. Yeah, literally is... Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to say this. It's kind of like... I say that a lot, too. It's kind of like... I don't know how to describe it. Anyways... However, people have told me it all the time, and I'm like, I'm done focusing on it because it just gives me anxiety. I overthink everything anyways, so I don't need to overthink more things.
I agree, Zal. I do feel like using the word like is a generational thing somewhat. As much as I hate to admit it, I am technically Gen Z. So I'm... Yeah. But also, yes, we have watched some of Scotty the Medium. He popped into one of our live streams once.
When we went to the Shanley Hotel.
Yeah, when we were streaming from the Shanley.
Because he, like, knows the owner personally and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the owner of the Shanley was talking about him a lot to us, and then he happened to pop into our live.
Which was crazy.
I don't even understand this Gen X things. I don't know. All I know is people are like, oh, I hate Gen Z. And I thought I was a millennial until I got told that I was Gen Z. And I was like, oh no, they think that I'm one of the, like, TikTok Zoomers that is, like, dancing on TikTok. I'm not.
You learn how to cook from TikTok.
Yeah.
We watched a MasterChef where they exclusively said that Gen Z only, like, learned how to cook from TikTok.
I was like, at least I wasn't born in the 2000s. I was born in the late 90s. I was born in 98, okay? Like, I'm 26. So it's not... I have a millennial mom, so I identify a lot with millennial culture as well. I'm culture...
not that far past the cut.
I want to know what feeling you get from him. I get the willies, and I didn't like it when he told people they needed to pay him to send money because YouTube doesn't pay. I haven't watched enough about him, honestly, to be able to...
Oh, Scotty the Medium.
To give a fully formed opinion.
Yeah, we just talked to him through a live stream.
Yeah, we've only had, like, brief interaction, like a very brief interaction when we were live, and then we watched... a couple of his live streams, but he does a lot of the gallery reading type things, and
gallery readings are not my thing. They stress me out.
Yeah,
like getting them.
I'm not a fan of gallery readings just in general, but I don't know enough about him to be able to, like, comment one way or another.
I don't know if he does. I think he does private readings, but he does, like, gallery readings in his live streams, which means that he, like, describes a person. He's, like, an evidential medium, so he gives his evidence of who he is speaking with, and then he asks who relates to this person, and it's like specific information based upon who he is interacting with. And that's how he does his readings live. That is what we're referring to as a gallery reading. He is like, this is who I'm talking to. Who is it for? And then the person says.
Yeah, and then someone has to claim that it's theirs.
That's why it stresses me out getting, like, being on the other side of that. So, yeah.
Don't bring my age into this. Mom, you're young. What do you mean?
We also just said you're a millennial.
Yeah. Em is also a millennial. Sometimes I joke and call her a cougar.
Even though I look like I'm 16.
Yeah. There was...
We went to the hospital.
I was just about to start talking about
We went to the hospital. Rikers, like, can't walk because their back is, like, in pieces or something. And there was this dude in a wheelchair sitting next to us. And, like, Riker went back to go get an x-ray or something, and there was only one chair. There were so many fucking people in this ER.
It was insane.
So I was standing, and Riker was sitting in the chair next to me because their back is in pieces. So they went off to go get an x-ray. I've been standing for, like, 4 hours. And I sit in this chair next to this dude who did not talk to Riker very much. They just were like, oh, where'd you get that Wendy's? And that was probably it. I sit there, this man tells me his whole life story.
Okay, I also need to preface this. One, this man was probably around our age. He had a flip phone. Em left for a minute to get food, and I listened to him talk on the phone. This man was 100% a drug dealer. I am sorry. He was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And I clocked it immediately.
But he literally asked me.
He was funny.
Like, what was wrong with my mom? And I was like, my mom? What are you talking about? And he was like, who is that? Who did you come in with? And I was like, my boyfriend. He was like, huh? I was like, my partner? He was like, oh, I thought that was your mother. And I was like,
do I look like one? I'm like, this would be my kid. Like,
yeah, dude.
We have none of the same features.
Yeah, he asked me where the Wendy's was. He asked me why you're in. He told me why he was in, because there's something wrong with his legs that I won't get into. He wanted to talk to me so much, and I'm like, I've been standing for 4 hours. I do not want to talk to you.
Well, he had a wheelchair, and I got told I wasn't allowed to have a wheelchair because there were too many wheelchairs already there. And he left.
He left, and they took his wheelchair.
And they took his wheelchair, so he came back, and he's like, where'd my wheelchair go? And I was like, you just left for like an hour.
He left to go smoke.
Like, you were gone for a while. I was told I wasn't able to have a wheelchair because there were too many people in the lobby.
We were in this ER lobby for 17 hours.
It was... And then
we got there at 6 p.m. and we finally got a room at like
11 a.m.
11 the next morning. We literally sat through the night.
We didn't sleep.
Someone came in with the stomach flu and just like
threw up all over the place.
Threw up in a bag and it exploded everywhere.
So Em had to run out, and I was just like, There was a woman who like had a like line in for like an IV, and she was upset about the wait, so she like asked them to take it out. So they took it out, and then she like left, and then came back 2 minutes later,
bleeding profusely and blood. Screaming bloody murder. Bloody murder. And I haven't eaten all day, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pass out. I have this like, I don't know. I have a panic disorder where I pass out a lot, and I'm afraid of passing out. So anything that could potentially cause me to pass out, my brain's like, you're doing it right now. So I left and got Wendy's after that.
And listen, there were other people who came in on an ambulance that also got pushed into the lobby because it wasn't severe enough. There was no way that they would have treated me. It was...
We also can't afford an ambulance.
Yeah, I don't got ambulance money. Listen, I can't afford an ambulance.
It was they tried to send us home like multiple times, and we're like, Riker cannot walk. Do something.
Yeah, they gave me God, would have had a place to sit. I don't think they would have.
Erica says, that's not true. If you use an ambulance, they will make you wait.
Yeah, there was a dude who stood
There were no
up.
beds.
Yeah, there's a dude who, like, stood up and, like, apparently his, like, Apple Watch told him his heart rate, like, spiked or whatever.
Yeah. And
he
has,
never
like,
lost
POTS syndrome. Like, POTS symptoms or whatever.
He never, like, lost consciousness or anything. And, like...
He's also in a wheelchair. And, like...
Everyone got a wheelchair except for me until...
Literally. They called him back and he just walked without the wheelchair back there.
And I was like... Are you fucking kidding me?
We literally were sitting there, and the people that came in with the stomach flu, they got taken to peds because there wasn't any beds left. And she's been sitting there for hours, and she looked fine after that. She threw up like twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're just sitting here for 16 hours in a chair.
And then when they finally admitted me to the hospital, they had to put me into pediatrics because there were not enough beds.
Pediatrics is much better than the adult side.
Yeah, so we get up there and the amazing little peds nurse is like, hey, like, have you guys, like, slept or eaten at all? And we were like, no, we, like, it is, at this point, it's almost like noon. I was like, we haven't eaten since 9 p.m. last night. Yeah. And we've been up for over 24 hours.
Yeah. And then they gave us a grilled cheese that I'm pretty sure they made and then warmed up in the microwave because it was hard.
The worst ever.
I don't know what happened. Disgusting. It was disgusting. How do you fuck up cheese and bread? But, like, no, listen, because your mom's like, chest pain. If you said you have chest pain,
they were sending everybody back.
There was a dude in there just calmly sitting there who apparently they were worried about having sepsis. And he was like, so there's not going to be any, like, beds until tomorrow morning because there's not enough doctors on the night shift. And the like, reception nurse lady was like, yeah, probably not. You'll probably have to wait until 5 o'clock the next morning for people to start coming in. And he was, like, trying to ask people, can I leave then? And they advised him not to because he had symptoms of sepsis. And he was sitting in the waiting room for hours.
Yeah, no, it was... we were talking to, like, the ER nurses because they tried, what was the first, they gave me Vicodin. No, the first thing that they gave me was Percocet. They gave me Percocet to try to get rid of, like, my pain because I was in excruciating pain. I could not walk. It was horrible. And the Percocet did absolutely nothing. And they gave me that and were like, okay, we're gonna send you home. And I was like, I still can't walk. I'm in pain. If you send me home, like, my girlfriend can't just carry me around. Like, what? I went, because I had gone to urgent care before, and urgent care was like, you should probably go to the ER for it because there's not enough that I can do to help you. Yeah. So then they gave me morphine and Vicodin at the same time. Yeah, the first word out of Riker's mouth was, wow, that hits fast. And I was like, oh.
And then after, I was, like, trying not to throw up.
Yeah.
Did nothing still.
Yeah, no. I am a very, like, I don't do opioids for anything. But I was in so much pain where when they gave me the Percocet, I took it and then said, so what did you just give me? I should probably, like, know what you just gave me. And, like, yeah, it was, like, horrible. So then I'm just, like, sitting there in pain, morphine and Vicodin and Percocet in my body. Nothing is working. And I'm like...
Margaret had to cry multiple times just to get people to, like, listen because they kept being like, I think you just need a Tylenol and you can go to sleep.
Yeah, the nurses were amazing. The doctors, horrible.
Kept trying to send Riker home and they were like, I can't walk.
Yeah, so once I got admitted, finally, I met the douchebag of a doctor that I had.
It was a good time. He was amazing.
Walked in and looked at me and was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your pain? 10 being the worst. And I was like, right now I'm at, like, an 8. And he was like, you look too comfortable to be at an 8. And I was like, well, I'm autistic. And also, I was like, I just spent, like... I've been up for... I hadn't slept yet, really, at that point, because they kept coming in to, like, do the initial intake things for being admitted. So I was like, I haven't slept.
Been here for 24 hours. You want me to cry for 24 hours until you decided to come into the room?
The entire time, he refused to give me, like, they only gave me Tylenol until I finally got a neurology consult. That every single nurse and, like, PT and OT told me I should get a neuro consult. The doctor refused to give it to me. He was, like, extremely, like, rude, horrible, like, it was to the point where, like, one of the nurses gave me the phone number to the ombudsman so I could report him to the state. And it wasn't until I got in, like, a yelling match with him practically and told him and, like, flashed the phone number to be like, I have this to, like, report you because of, like, everyone is so horrified about the things you've said to me. And
it's a tarot card.
This is a tarot card. This is not the phone number to the ombudsman, in case that wasn't obvious. But then he finally was like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I was like, oh, worst bedside manner. It was horrible. My mom was on the phone and heard it. He was an absolute douchebag. Like, all of the nurses were so kind and nice, but the doctor was so horrible. So I reported him to the state and left a very wordy survey response about my care from him.
Yeah, but then a few days after that, we went to a spine doctor and everything's fine. The spine doctor is good.
The spine doctor is great. We like the spine doctor.
The spine doctor is like, you have options. And we're like, what? Amazing. So that's that story. Whoever, like, opened that box was so sorry.
Yeah, I also don't think that he was expecting me to, like,
fire him.
Yeah.
You tried to fire him.
Yeah.
We left before that happened.
Thank God. I was so fucking fed up. Like, we spent pretty much, like, we
were there for, like, 4 days.
Yeah, because it was Monday that we went there.
We left on Thursday.
And we left Thursday afternoon. And I got, like, a walker and everything. I am feeling much better since then.
That was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a few weeks. So, like, PT and I was actually given proper medication to help, like, manage it. So,
but he said
that's been great.
The spine doctor said, like, 4 to 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
For it to fully get better.
But, and if it wasn't that, then we would move on to injections, like, potentially, and if that wasn't the case, then surgery. Because I have a back injury or a condition. It's not
an injury. They
think I was born with it. But I have spondylolisthesis of my L5S1. So this is my tailbone. This is right above. This is the vertebrae right above it. It is slipped forward and is slightly to the left, so it pinches on the nerves. So I've had this condition. I've known about this for like 8 years now. So I have to do, like, a lot of, like, modifications with things, which is why when we're doing ghost hunts, I sit a lot because otherwise, like, my back hurts.
I'm down to sit. We're there for, like, 12 hours in the middle of the night.
So, you know, that was a thing. But, this, like, it had never gotten this bad. So luckily I shouldn't need to have surgery because I'm improving. Physical therapy is helping. And I have, like, an actual spine doctor I can go to now if I'm having issues versus having to do, like...
We have a lot of imaging from that now, too.
Yeah, so I pretty much got a full imaging workup because I got x-rays, CTs, and MRIs done. The doctor didn't want to give me an MRI because he said that it was too dangerous and expensive, and then finally gave it to me.
Yeah, it was a rough 4 days.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucking cool, Kree. You would think that's the case, but they made calls with her. Yeah, that doctor was horrible. So I'm still waiting on the letter to see how it was resolved. I doubt that they're gonna actually send it to me. I don't care. I'm never going to that hospital again. If I have any back issues, I'm just calling my spine doctor instead, because he actually knows what he's talking about.
No, everyone seemed nervous.
Well, even the, like, asshole doctor was trying to claim that I had deformities in my legs, which is not true. Yeah. And was trying to claim that I had a fracture in my, like a small fracture in my spine.
And we brought it up to the neurologist and she was like, I haven't seen
and it doesn't exist. He was trying to say, like, he was trying to claim that that I'm so overweight that it put too much pressure on my spine that it like forced it, that it like fractured it.
Yeah.
But there is no fracture.
And the neurologist was like, it's not there. Because he was like, it's chronic, meaning
he's an asshole.
It's like old, like months and months, years and years old. But it was not even there.
Often, yeah, dude, I fucking hate doctors.
Dude, fucking same.
But I shouldn't say I hate doctors. There are some doctors that I absolutely hate because my like core medical team that like helps me, of like my primary care physician, my spine doctor, like are fucking amazing. And they advocate for me and do a lot of awesome stuff. So
yeah,
like my new therapist is literally like BFFs with my primary care doctor. And is like, they had like a queer like dinner party night and we're talking about me. I haven't even met my new therapist yet, and I was like, you guys are already talking about me? Wow.
Must be very important.
I'm flattered. But that was the hospital experience.
Long ass tangent.
I will look that up. I'm gonna write that down, that podcast down.
I've learned so much from the podcast maintenance phase about weight stigma in medical diagnostics. If you have not heard the podcast, I recommend it.
Yeah, because I know that it's a like...
You can have a fracture with spondylolisthesis. It's a fracture of the bony arch on the vertebrae by the slip. It's called a...
Oh yeah, no, I know it's possible, but it doesn't exist. But like, I don't have one.
He told Riker that there was a fracture, and Riker was like, "That's new. I've never heard a doctor tell me that there's a fracture in my back before."
Yeah, because also all of the other imaging that I had gotten was like never said anything. And she said that it was because I was like, oh, like that's new, like I haven't heard of that. And he's like, no, it's chronic, it's been there.
Yeah.
But I had gotten like imaging done on my back in October, and that was nowhere. It was nowhere in there.
And that wasn't long enough for it to be chronic either.
And I don't know where he got it from, because even the radiologist who reviewed the imaging,
the neurologist
didn't, like, there is no mention of it. That doctor just pulled it out of somewhere.
Yeah, we don't know why he said that.
I don't know where he got it from.
Brought it up to the neurologist, and she was like, I didn't see anything about a fracture.
Yeah, there's no fracture.
He was just being rude.
Yeah. He was trying to make it... He did not like that I knew my body better than he did, and was trying to prove that, like, he had something up on me, because he walked in and was like, described like all the medical terms for spondylolisthesis of L5S1 with like anterior stenosis and things. So he like explained all of that. I was like, do you know what that means? And I was like, yeah, you're describing my spondylolisthesis. I know about that.
And he explained it.
And then he was like, no, you're wrong. And then explained spondylolisthesis. And I was like, okay, dude, my mom has a background in like the medical industry. She's not like a doctor or nurse, but I know my medical terms, especially when they relate to my body. I am like, I know things, but he had an ego and had to be right. So luckily I don't ever have to see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of doctors don't. Yeah. I think he's one of those doctors that just assumes everyone with back pain is drug seeking, even though you didn't want narcotics. Yeah, I made it because he kept just saying, you'll have to do physical therapy when you get out of here. And I was like, I'm not opposed to doing physical therapy. I'm like, and I don't want to be on like drugs for my back my entire life. And I'm not even trying to get surgery. But what are you going to do to help me in the meantime? Because I can't walk. So, because I want to lose weight, and I know that losing weight does help, especially when you have back injuries, and I'm not opposed to that. I've been trying to do that and everything, so I'm not opposed to those things, but
it is not causing the things that he's claiming they are.
Yeah.
And it's just being rude and horrible to people.
Yeah, he was just an ass. Because I have no issues with doctors talking to me about my weight and talking about how losing weight can help with back things. I know that's completely fine, but you are not the overweight. Yeah, I know that I am overweight, but I'm not that over. I don't know.
Your back isn't fracturing because of your weight.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Especially when I've known about my back injury for the last 8 years and have taken all the precautions I've been advised to make sure that I don't injure my back further.
That is what he was saying, which is why it was an issue.
Yeah, I have thick thighs. One part of that is genetic. Part of it is I used to be a competitive dancer. So I have thick thighs. He was trying to claim that my legs were deformed because my thighs were too thick.
Yeah.
Which I was like, it doesn't...
What did he say? You were bow-legged or something?
No, he just...
Oh yeah, he said that you had deformities in your legs.
Yeah,
but how was that any different? My legs bow out because I ride horses.
Yeah. Well, and I was my legs were turned out, and so I explained to him, I was like, oh, I'm I used to be a dancer, so I am used to standing with my legs turnout. If you know what turnout is from dance, I'm used to standing like that and sitting like that. That is just, it's been so conditioned in my body. And he was like, no, it's not because of that. It's because you're fat. He didn't say it in those words, but I was like,
he might as well have.
Crazy.
Because
if he had approached any of the discussions in a more kind and understanding way, I would have been a lot more open to what he was saying. And it's not that even I wasn't open. He was just making shit up out of nowhere. It seemed
things that were completely unrelated, because it's why are you talking about my legs when I'm here because I can't walk because my back is hurt.
But
do your job, please, and thank you. Have a nice day.
But anyways, that's my whole medical history.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I need a snack.
Yeah, I'm hungry. That ramen
was not enough.
Yeah, I'm always hungry a few hours after ramen. I mean, we can get off for the night and go eat snacks.
Yeah.
If you want. I don't know what snacks we're gonna eat because we need to go grocery shopping, but...
We can go grocery shopping tomorrow. Did you guys enjoy this? I know this was an interesting podcast, but we were
podcast?
Sorry. Live stream. We did a podcast earlier. This is a very interesting podcast.
Chat time is... Yeah.
But I'll probably be live tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I keep saying that I'm going to be, but I'm also stressed.
Yeah.
So go watch our podcast that we released today. Hopefully in next week, some point, we might have another podcast for you with Kayla. That also might happen in 2 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want snacks. I really want mac and cheese, but we don't have milk. But we were watching people make mac and cheese or eat mac and cheese.
Yeah, we were watching 3 professional chefs blind taste and try
every brand of mac
all
and
of
cheese.
the boxed mac and cheese.
Yeah. So now I want mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Or ice cream. But we don't have either of those things.
We could go get ice cream. We could go to Dairy Queen.
Is it open?
I think they're still open.
It's late. Do you have any more Trader Joe's mac? We ate it all.
But yeah.
We have to go back to the store.
We'll be going back to our usual programming after all of this. We just didn't know if there was going to be a I don't know, an influx of people wanting to say things. So we were like, we'll do this, because technically I was gonna like take a break.
Yeah, I just didn't want people to come in at me alone on a live stream and be like, let me tell you all of my opinions. And I'm like, I'm not here for opinions. I'm here for a good time. So
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
So yeah, so we're doing this. And then maybe tomorrow I'll do another live stream, so.
Oh, it closes at 10. We have time. Closes in an hour.
Yeah, we have an hour.
We can do it.
Seg did it. Wait. Oh, and to let you know, Seg.
As usually not that serious. Oh yeah, no. Him and I, after the live stream, him and I were DMing about it. I am aware, but I'm happy that, I don't know. Again, I just can't say enough that I'm happy that it was.
No, it was amazing, because that it just gives me information about how to like make the community more like understanding. Because we were literally sitting on the couch and we were like, I am scared to like post on YouTube now. Like, other content creators are like, YouTube is now the platform where everybody is like toxic as shit. Like a few years ago, TikTok used to be that, but now people are saying that YouTube is that. So I'm like, do we just stop posting on YouTube? Like,
yeah,
this is fucking bullshit.
I don't know. I was worried that just doing a text reply to him, like in the comments, would like come off wrong. So I was like, I don't know, but in case people come to us, I'll go live on our channel and
because usually when mac and cheese.
Thank you. I love you.
Naughty. Yeah, because usually when you have a video like that made about you, you get a lot of hate sent your way. And we were trying to avoid that and be like, if any one of you are mean to us, we will remove you from the community, because I'm sick of pretending like everything's fine when it's not. So that is the main consensus of now we know how to like fix, or like not even fix, but like rebalance the community.
Yeah, because I don't know, we may be a small channel, but and no matter what people's opinions about mediums are, we do try to set out to make, I don't know, improve the space as much as possible. I don't know, I like to leave things better than how I found it, so
Also, Tiny, I would feel sad if you guys ever decided to stop posting because of negatives. We suck at quitting, so even if we stopped posting here, it would be somewhere else.
We have said that we were going to like quit or go get jobs or something for the last year.
Yeah, we would be like, every few months we'd be like, okay, if we don't do it by this month, and then that month would happen and be like, okay,
but we're not ready. But
if we don't do it in 3 months, the end of the year. And now, after the end of the year, we're like, okay, that was fucking delusional. We have, like, zero money, and we're on, like, food stamps, and we're still like, this is my passion. I can't leave it. Plus, also, it's so much harder to get a job. I'm great at quitting. Yeah, but you wouldn't be great at quitting your, like, passion.
Yeah, I'm like, we love what we do too much.
If we were, like, in corporate jobs working in a cubicle, I would say the same fucking thing. I'd be like, bye.
I don't know. I don't know. I would rather be, like, dirt poor and be, like, a starving artist and actually love what we do than, I don't know, chill out for anything, which is part of why we've been like focused on redoing our content, because we want
our passion instead of like monetary value of things.
Yeah, well, and we felt like we had to do very specific types of content or things based on what successful and based on what other people expect. Like every single time we like talk about how we don't really love doing readings. Yeah. Everyone is like, well, you're mediums. Like, mediums just do readings. You have to do it. And I was like, no, you don't. I don't care.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care if, like, other mediums do readings. I don't have to do readings just because other mediums do. That's like, not how that works.
Like we said earlier, talking to, like, people's past loved ones is very uncomfortable. Even, like, doing the stuff that we do now, it's very uncomfortable, because I feel like when we do readings, it's like, I feel like I'm, like, inserting myself into places I shouldn't be, and having, like, sharing information with the internet that I shouldn't be, because it's, like, personal for you. So it's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. If I'm ever doing readings, I like to do it when we're live.
I like to do them live.
Because it's more fun. Like, I don't like doing private readings, and we've offered them here and there, but I've told them, I was like, I will not offer private readings ever again, and it's because I just genuinely don't like to do them. I gave a job that paid extremely well to become an author. I have over 100. Hell yeah, that's awesome. We actually have another regular in our community who is also an author. She does romance stuff. Her name is Amanda. Sorry, autistic, so I have to share that with you, but yeah, dude, that's awesome.
But yeah, I still do readings. I like doing them live. I might do some this week. So come check us out. What's supporting us right now? But like, I don't know. We like to just sit and vibe sometimes.
Yeah, we're trying to do more gaming lives. Yeah, I want to do more hangout lives like this where we just sit and vibe with people. Mm-hmm. But I want to go because I want to go.
We're gonna go get ice cream. So, bye.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
I forgot that I'm in charge of ending
Hopefully
this.
We'll see you tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do a live stream. I don't know what. I've made a lot of thumbnails. That's about what I've done today.
But have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.